So here we are again at Coleman A Young Airfield, KDET, just outside Detroit, ready for the next leg on our around the world tour in a small aeroplane. This time we're en route to Chicago, the Windy City. We're aiming to land at DuPage, a nice little airfield west of Chicago and well out of the way of O'Hare. I think O'Hare used to be the busiest airport in the world, but it isn't anymore. Anyway, it's still up there and definitely too busy for me. So, okay, now we have the ATIS, let's get going.
Tower, Golf Alpha Yankee Juliet Sierra, request taxi for departure to the west en route to Kilo Delta Papa Alpha with information Oscar.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, taxi to runway 15 via Golf. Cross runway 25, then cross runway 33, then Alpha Bravo. After takeoff, enter left downwind for a straight out departure to the west.
Taxi to runway 15 via Golf, cross runway 25, then cross runway 33, then Alpha Bravo. After takeoff, enter left downwind for a straight out departure to the west. Yankee Juliet Sierra, thank you.
This is the third part of my journey around the world in this delightful little aeroplane. The first bit was to head north from the UK back in May via Iceland and Greenland to get to Newfoundland and see where my brother used to live. After that, stage 2 of the plan was to head to New York and Boston, do a bit of sightseeing and follow in reverse a road trip we did a few years ago across New York State to Niagara and Toronto. On the way, I heard about the Manicouagan Reservoir, a 200 million year old impact crater visible from space, and I just had to see that. That was quite awesome. You can watch that flight on one of my earlier video logs. Eventually, we made it to New York via Montreal, across the Finger Lakes to Toronto, and that completed that trip reminiscing about what a great time we had down there on the ground. This stage is to get across from Toronto to Vernon and Vancouver, where my brother currently lives. The previous flight leg was to get from Toronto to here, and now we're heading from here to Chicago. After that, well, there isn't yet a plan, just more west. Okay, here we are at the end of the runway, almost ready for departure. So let's do a quick checklist. Fuel good, select us to main, alternate S. Mags on, alternators good. Okay, let's get this show on the road.
Yankee Juliet Sierra ready for departure, runway 15 and request flight following.
Yankee Juliet Sierra on departure, maintain VFR at or below 1500 feet. Departure on 134.3, squawk 1725.
On departure, maintain VFR at or below 1500, departure on 134.5, squawk 1725. Yankee Juliet Sierra.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, contact departure for flight following. I don't have radar contact.
We'll contact departure for flight following Yankee Juliet Sierra. Yankee Juliet Sierra is type twin Cessna just west of your position, request flight following.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, radar contact.
Roger, Yankee Juliet Sierra.
That was all very uneventful, which is what we like. We're established now on our westerly course towards Lake Michigan and Chicago. This part of the journey is about an hour of flying across country, which is mostly sparsely populated and very green. Having said that, just coming up in front of us is Oakland Southwest Airfield. I just looked that up. Something I've noticed is how many small, even tiny airfields there are across America and Canada. It seems quite different to what we see in the UK, but maybe that's just a matter of scale. Who knows? Hang on.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, I need to amend your flight. Can you tell me your destination?
Destination is Kilo Delta Papa Alpha, Yankee Juliet Sierra.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, roger. Destination confirmed as Kilo Delta Papa Alpha.
Yankee Juliet Sierra.
As I was saying, flying across the US and Canada, there's a lot of wilderness and agricultural areas. Then suddenly you find yourself over an urban area with maybe some one or more large industry surrounded by suburbs. This kind of brings home how dependent communities must be on individual sources of employment. If for whatever reason that closes, I guess there's nowhere else to go for work for maybe hundreds of miles.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, contact Cleveland Center on 126.75.
Contact Cleveland Center on 126.75, Yankee Juliet Sierra. Cleveland Center, Golf Alpha Yankee Juliet Sierra at 2500 feet.
Golf Alpha Yankee Juliet Sierra, Cleveland Center, good afternoon, New Hudson. Altimeter 29.901.
29.901, Yankee Juliet Sierra.
Hopefully that's it for a while. The autopilot is flying the plane. I can look out the window and enjoy the view until we get to Lake Michigan, where hopefully it will all get a bit more interesting.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, contact Great Lakes approach on 119.2.
Contact Great Lakes approach on 119.2, Yankee Juliet Sierra, thank you. Great Lakes, Golf Alpha Yankee Juliet Sierra at 2500 feet.
Golf Alpha Yankee Juliet Sierra, Great Lakes approach, good afternoon, Perry, altimeter 29.901.
290901, Yankee Juliet Sierra, thank you.
Here we are back again after 45 minutes of looking at forests and lakes and messing around with the aeroplane instruments to try and learn some new things. Up ahead you can see Lake Michigan. Some fun facts about Lake Michigan, some of which may or may not be accurate as these are pulled from the internet. I've never actually been here. It's the third largest of the Great Lakes after Lake Superior and Lake Huron. Amazingly, it enjoys the second longest shoreline in the whole of the US. I was quite skeptical about that, given it's only the third largest Great Lake, but the reason is that all of the other Great Lakes share their shorelines with Canada, so as a lake statistic, it's a little bit dubious. Anyway, it apparently has nice beaches and soft sand and is a popular tourist destination, and nearby there are very many reputable vineyards. However, it is also the home of the mysterious Great Lakes Triangle, Like its namesake off Bermuda, it's said there have been many unexplained disappearances, eerie lights in the sky, and mysterious mists. I do wonder if those last two fun facts are in fact connected to each other. In the Second World War, Lake Michigan was the home of two aircraft carriers, USS Wolverine and USS Sable. Both were originally passenger ships, converted for use as pilot training vessels, safely away from the dangers of the North Atlantic. Although there were many accidents and over 100 losses, and there are quite a lot of aeroplanes still on the bottom of Lake Michigan, it's estimated that over 15,000 pilots successfully qualified, so it is actually seen as a great success. The edge of Lake Michigan is also the home of the largest steel mills in America, and we'll be taking a look at those shortly.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, contact Chicago Center on 125.975.
Contact Chicago Center on 125.975, Yankee Juliet Sierra. Chicago Center, Golf Alpha Yankee Juliet Sierra, 2500 feet.
Golf Alpha Yankee Juliet Sierra, Chicago Center, good afternoon, Lawton, altimeter 29.901.
2991, Yankee Juliet Sierra.
Just coming up on the port side is Michigan City. It's notable apparently for its lighthouse, its casino, the largest riverboat casino in Indiana, and possibly related to that, its prison. Coming up next after this are the steel works, but first we need to have a little chat with ATC.
Chicago Center, Golf Alpha Yankee Juliet Sierra, request Class C penetration.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, transition through the Gary Delta is approved. Remain this frequency.
Roger, Yankee Juliet Sierra.
We started today in Michigan, then briefly crossed into Indiana, where we are right now, and eventually we'll finish in Illinois at DuPage. But up ahead you can see the Gary International Airport and the Gary Works. Gary Works was once the biggest steel mill in the world and is still the largest integrated steel mill in North America. Constructed at the beginning of the last century, along with the city that you can see now surrounds it, it brought a welcome period of prosperity to the area. However, that wasn't to last. This is a sightseeing journey, not a political tour, so you can read for yourself the history of this place, although it does seem to be attracting some more investment these days, I think. Not my expert subject. Anyway, it remains an impressive sight, so as we trundle past that, the next stop on our sightseeing tour will be Chicago, right, thank you.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, contact Chicago approach on 125.0.
Contact Chicago approach on 125.0, Yankee Juliet Sierra.
Chicago approach, Golf Alpha Yankee Juliet Sierra at 1500 feet.
Golf Alpha Yankee Juliet Sierra, Chicago approach. Good afternoon. Chicago altimeter 29.901.
2991, Yankee Juliet Sierra.
Here we are, cruising along the Chicago harbourfront. I've been to Chicago once before, a long time ago, for a day, for a job interview. I didn't get to be a tourist. I got the job, but turned it down. That actually turned out to be a huge error, but hey ho, maybe I'll get to have a look around this time. Leaving Chicago behind now, we're going to run another 20 or so miles up the shoreline to leave all the messy O'Hare stuff behind us before making our turn to the left and then down towards DuPage, our final destination for today. We've made the turn away from Lake Michigan and tracking across country now, and it's time to set up for the approach and arrival into DuPage Airport.
Chicago Golf Alpha Yankee Juliet Sierra request frequency change to DuPage Tower.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, remain on this frequency. You are already in contact with Chicago approach and departure.
Chicago Golf Alpha Yankee Juliet Sierra is inbound at 1500 feet to Kilo Delta Papa Alpha and request clearance for landing.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, expect visual approach to runway 20 right at DuPage Airport. Contact DuPage Tower on 120.9er when ready to land.
Expect visual approach to runway 20 right at DuPage Airport and will contact DuPage Tower on 120.9 when ready to land. Yankee Juliet Sierra, thank you.
There's a little way to go now before turning left for a straight into DuPage, so time for a few checks.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, winds 120 at 10, gusting 18. Runway 20 right, clear to land.
20 right, clear to land, Yankee Juliet Sierra, thank you. Yankee Juliet Sierra is clear of the runway.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, welcome to DuPage. Contact ground on 121.8.
Contact ground on 121.8, Yankee Juliet Sierra, thank you.
Ground, Yankee Juliet Sierra, request taxi to general aviation parking.
Yankee Juliet Sierra, general aviation parking via Yankee Whiskey Tango. Have a great day.
Taxi to general aviation parking via Yankee Whiskey Tango, Yankee Juliet Sierra.
That's us done for today. Where's the bar? The next step is to finally decide our route to Vancouver and plan the next leg of the trip. It's probably going to take us 5 or 6 hops to get there, so we need to find some interesting things to see en route. So until next time, happy flying!